job did you apply for
I
when you finally decided you wanted or you needed to work?
So at first, like maybe the kids are maybe 3 years old or
Mm-hmm.
years old. I'm trying, like in Sam's Club or Walmart. I'm not having any luck. But when I was in Japan, I did work for maybe two, 3 weeks in what do you call it, the department store of the base. Even though my mom and dad was there taking care of the kids, for whatever reason, my my newborn doesn't want to go to bed, and then they're having a hard time making her, putting her to bed. And then when I come home, she's sleeping. He said, you have to stop working. You can't work right now with this baby. It's hard for me. I'm working too, and then we can't rely all the time to your mom and dad. They're gonna be only here in a matter of time. They're leaving, and it's just us.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can't work. So that's when really I'm forced to, like, yeah, don't work. So I had to stop, and then yeah, I think when we went back here, it took me maybe 3 more years, and then I decided to, yeah, the kids are going back to school now, and then I found a job that I could work at night. So that's when, ever since, I'm working in swings. So
Mm.
yeah, I was able to take care of them daytime, and then I'm working at night, and then
Mm.
go home morning. So maybe a month, maybe 6 months, or maybe 4 months, because it's a seasonal job. So
Yeah. Did you work for the IRS?
I do. Yeah.
Are you still working there?
Yes. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. So I started at 2009, and then I worked only seasonal, like maybe 2, 3 months. It's not
Mm.
really permanent job, so which I really like, because I could take care of the kids. I it's like a supplemental income, and then at the same time, I was able to help my parents send them money back there, because both of them are. My dad stopped, didn't go back to Saudi Arabia,
Mhm.
so you know there's no income really there. You know how the life in the Philippines.
Yes, yes, yes. You're the
I
eldest in the family, correct?
Yes, I am.
And you only have two siblings, both
Yeah.
sisters.
Yes, sisters.
Okay, I remember correctly what I learned from you 17 years ago and on that short time that we were together. So when you come here,
Mm-hmm.
even though you did not work for 5 years, oh, but
Mm-hmm.
they were with you for the first 6 months that you
Yeah.
were in Japan, right? But during that, so when they went back to the Philippines
Mm-hmm.
from Japan, did
Mm-hmm.
you support them
Yeah.
financially?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't really have a job that time, so basically, I had to talk it to my husband. Yeah, Troy. It's really hard. It's You know how it is. It's really hard to have your spouse, case because they don't understand. Even before he met me and we get married, um, I think he has a coworker before that knows somebody that had a wife too, or maybe ex-wife,
Mm-hmm.
that if you married a Filipina, you will support the family.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Was
it
Troy prepared for that before you guys got married?
was not at first, and then of course he has a big heart, so I try to balance it out. We're supporting them here and there,
Mm-hmm.
and still small during that time, so we're not really, it's
Mm-hmm.
not expensive raising kids during that.
Yes.
So for 5 years, yes, and then even when I start working 2009, that's when I really had to force myself. Okay, you need to learn how to drive, and then you need to learn how to go to work, because
Mm-hmm.
for your mom and dad at the same time, supplemental. It's not gonna be hard for your husband to send them the money, because you're contributing also in the household. So he had a say, but at the same time he can't say no.
When you say he has a say, but at the same time he cannot say no, was it like did it put a strain in your relationship? Like,
Not probably a little bit,
mm,
but has to understand too that they don't really have an income there, so I really have to support them.
yeah.
So you
So
know,
when you say support, is it like a monthly financial?
yeah, monthly, yeah, I do send them like maybe $100.
Mhm,
That that time like 10 years ago, or
mhm.
is a lot. It goes a long ways. Fast forward now, you can't do that.
Yeah, and so it's like for 5 years it was that scenario. So your sisters here are both sisters already in the US too? So it's
No,
just
the youngest.
the
So
youngest is with you guys. So she's the one now tending the house in Taytay.
yeah, no. I mean, the middle is the one in Taytay,
Ah, okay.
and yung youngest ang nandito sa California. So I think maybe I'm already maybe here maybe 2 years or a month, maybe a year. I'm already no less than a year. I'm here. My sister came here in the U.S. too. It's
Mm-hmm.
like
Did she also marry an American or?
an American too. He's
Okay.
in. They live in California.
Were you
So
instrumental in your sister's
no, she
okay.
owned. You know how it is before. Like yung online chat before it's in that um early stage. So that's when I guess she got lucky. She met him, and he's really a good guy,
Mhm.
and they've been here, married for a long time. You know how, yeah.
Did she ever complain to you or sought or ask you for advice, like I'm having difficulty in these challenges? Like, did she face the same challenge like yours, like driving? I know California, at least in some parts, they have buses because back in 2001 I
Mm-hmm,
went to California. I stayed there for a couple of months and I was able to navigate by bus.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. She never learned how to drive. I think she already knew how to drive, but she don't drive that far. But it's mostly, I know, because she's working in Alberton. She does bus all the time. Never drove, or in the afternoon or in the morning, her shift. Her husband will drop her off. Her husband will pick her up, or she will ride the bus.
And plus, like grocery shopping nowadays, especially with the pandemic, one of the positives of pandemic is the online grocery shopping and curbside or also delivery, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just for a little amount of money, $5, Instacart is there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious about your kids. So
Mm.
you now have two teenagers, correct?
Yes.
How was it raising? Because you were raised in the Philippines and now you are raising your teenage girls in the US.
Yes.
Was it like, did you apply whatever your mom
Mm-hmm.
like
It's
did?
it's really different. I mean, their upbringing here, the culture here, the surroundings, their environment here where they go to school, and it's really different. Our culture, it's kind of hard to apply our cultures. Some of it I can
Like what?
work hard, study hard, school first, not in a relationship, even though my eldest now is in a relationship.
Uh-huh.
So,
How did you react? That
oh
she's like 17 years old?
no, she's only 16.
Uh-huh. She's 16 and then she has a boyfriend.
Yes. So
Okay. How did Mommy Grace react to that?
well, I was furious, but uh, um, later on, I had to, like accept the fact that it is what it is, that she is in a relationship, but at the same time, I'm supporting her at the same time. So
Do
yeah.
you know the parents of the boyfriend?
Yeah, yep. The parents had like a business, you know how those signs, you know,
Yes.
store, or they designing it or making the sign like, McDonald's sign or uh
Oh, okay. Has
Arby's.
business signages?
That's what the parents' business.
You kind of gave me an impression that you grew up in a conservative family. So how about your daughters? They are growing up here. They were born here in the US.
They're really conservative since we raised them in an athlete environment. They're very both athletic.
What
Uh,
kind of sports do they play?
Play soccer, both of them.
Oh, wow.
So the youngest is more athletic. She's in a high school
Mm-hmm.
varsity or JV or junior varsity.
Mm-hmm.
So same time she plays the club too. Like a
Mm.
club soccer. And then my eldest is only she's playing on a club. She get easily discouraged. She's been trying out the high school and she'd never get picked. So I
Mm-hmm.
said, I was just gonna stick on my club. The club play. They play indoor, outdoor,
Mm-hmm.
indoor, and then outdoor during the fall or in, the springtime. So yeah,
Is
but
is
my young
being members of these clubs gonna help them get scholarships in college?
my little one, my youngest one is they could. I think my eldest is trying academic. She's trying her in her school.
Oh,
Uh, Youngest one is, I think, maybe if she keeps doing this, she'll probably get an athletic scholarship.
mm. Grace, you mentioned earlier, raising kids is really expensive, and it's a fact. Can you
Hmm?
help me understand how expensive it is to raise kids? Like, I mean, not the food, but just like for the preparation for college. Are you are you going to help them fund their education?
More than likely, will help them. The boarding. You'll stay here still at the house while they're working. They're in school. Not probably the whole thing because we're in the middle class. We don't really have a lot of money prepared like a savings for their school. They really have to probably go through a student loan. And,
Mm.
uh,
And there are still grants available for them, correct?
yeah. So that's probably what's gonna happen. We don't really have that 5 to 9 savings for the college kids. So we
Mm-hmm.
basically just a middle class family. So
Yes.
probably, yeah, student loan, and then we'll support them probably books
Mm.
or allowance, something like that.
But a big
Or
chunk will be taken via the student loan.
and then of course when they're driving already, they have their car. They have to buy their own car.
Are they
Or
both driving now?
she's in a learner's permit right now. She
Ah,
has
okay.
a driving test. So imagine you're gonna buy a used car for them.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be added in your insurance, and your insurance was skyrocketed. So yeah, there's a lot of involved raising a kid.
Do you expect your kids to move out of the house?
Uh I will keep them as much as I can. You know how it is in, like, as a parent, you want them to be what do you call that? You want them with you till you prepare yourself that hey, they're not kids anymore. They have to go out and move out. They out in adventure, or like venture themselves, be independent.
Because in the Philippines, I think we overdo it. Sometimes even a child already has his own child and they still live with their parents.
Yes,
But in
I
here,
don't think. I'm not sure. Probably they'll be independent. They'll have their own lives. When maybe 5, 10 years from now, who knows?
mhm,
So yeah, right now, yeah, I'll probably keep them as much as I can.
I hear a lot of stories about kids moving out for
Mm-hmm.
college, and it is really very emotionally,
Yeah,
charged for the parents. I see some friends post on Facebook that they are like really not looking forward to the day that they will
yeah.
drop off their kids to their college.
Um, we, as much as possible, we wanted them here, close by college here. But if they get, like the youngest, if she get a scholarship athlete from other state, yeah, we will be forced to let her go and have be on her own. Well, and that's the time also they could learn. They're on their own, learn how to manage their time, clean their dorm or apartment. And at the same time, it's a responsibility. It's like us as an adult, as a parent, we're working, taking care of the household, taking care of the kids, paying bills. So same thing as them. They have to get their grades up. If she's an athlete, she has to get her maintain her grades, and then she play the soccer, and then she has to maintain her dorm.
It
Yeah.
sounds like you have, or your family have set those expectations for your kids. These are the things that, like to prepare, to help you prepare for the future, that you will be out of the care of your parents. Is that how your parents also, both Troy and your probably parents, did to you, that you are actually doing to your kids also, or you just learned that when
I,
you got here in the US?
I think I just learned it in here that you really have to. In the Philippines, we're close tie. That even we have a husband and kids, we're still living together. No, when you move out, you had a family. You have to move out, and you have to be on your own. So you wanted your kids to be the same way, to be independent, go through life on their own, learn from it.
Do you guys plan to retire in the Philippines?
I wanted, I wanted to retire. I don't think he wants to retire there.
Has he
you know,
ever been to the Philippines?
he did twice. I'm not sure. I think he loves his country.